Hey there, I'm going to be showing you some family meals today that are all around $4. I thought since a lot of people are trying to cut down on their grocery budget these days, this video might help you. But anyways, I really hope you enjoy these meals and let's get to cooking. We're going to start out by making one of my all-time favorite chicken and rice bakes. This chicken and rice bake feeds quite a few people and it is also very budget friendly, so those are some of my favorite parts about it. We're going to begin with a 9x13 baking dish. Just spray it with plenty of nonstick spray so the rice doesn't stick to it in the end. I just added 2 cups of white rice on there with a half of a diced up white onion. Now I'm adding 2 tablespoons of some all-purpose flour. The all-purpose flour might seem a little weird, but it's just going to act as a binder in the end. So now I'm drizzling 3 tablespoons of melted butter on, and you're going to stir all of this to combine. Since the white rice in this recipe is uncooked, you are going to need plenty of liquid. So I just added in 5 cups of chicken broth, and now I'm adding in 1 cup of milk, or you could use heavy whipping cream, whatever your preference is. I'm just going to season this with some salt and pepper and then stir everything together. For the chicken that I am using in this recipe, I'm using 4 chicken drumsticks. They were 99 cents a pound on sale at my store. I've done this with chicken thighs in the past and they turn out great. I don't suggest chicken breasts though, because they do tend to dry out a little bit quicker. So now I just added 3 tablespoons of melted butter, and I'm just seasoning this with some garlic powder, paprika, and Italian seasoning. This bakes in a preheated oven to 350 degrees, covered with aluminum foil for 1 hour. After that 1 hour point, I took it out of the oven and then I removed the aluminum foil, and I baked this in the oven uncovered for an additional 30 minutes. Here's the finished product. That chicken comes out nice and crisp every time because of the additional 30 minutes of cooking uncovered. The rice comes out nice and fluffy, and this meal has a ton of flavor, also a lot of great protein. You could serve this with your choice of veggies on the side. My family loves chili, especially now that it is so cold outside. Here are all the ingredients that I am using. I'm only using a half a pound of some ground beef for this recipe just because it does cut down on the cost of the meat. And then also I just don't think it needs more ground beef than that. I think this is enough. So I added the half a pound of ground beef to my Dutch oven, seasoned it with salt and pepper, and I'm just going to cook it until it is completely cooked through. Now that my ground beef is cooked, I'm just adding a half of a white onion that is diced. I'm only using half because of course that is cheaper like that, and then it will still give you a ton of flavor. So now that my onion is soft, I'm adding in 1 can of drained and rinsed kidney beans, along with 8 ounces of tomato sauce, 30 ounces of crushed tomatoes, or you could use diced tomatoes as a substitute. To season this up, I'm keeping it pretty simple, just some salt, pepper, cumin, and then some chili powder. Of course, use more or less seasonings depending on your preference. After I gave this a really good stir, I'm going to put the lid on top and let this simmer for about 35 to 45 minutes. Here is the finished product. I gave it a good stir and then it is all ready to serve. Here is my bowl of chili. I just topped mine with some ingredients that I just had in the pantry and in the fridge, just some cheese and tortilla strips. This is such a great recipe for chili, and I love how budget friendly it is. This one is a great meatless meal option. This is a tomato lentil stew. Here are all the amazing ingredients for this recipe. If you've never cooked with lentils, I definitely recommend it. They are a great source of protein. I'm just starting out by dicing up my 1 russet potato, half of an onion, and 2 carrots into smaller pieces. Over to my Dutch oven, I have a couple tablespoons of olive oil in there. I'm just going to soften my carrot and onion. About 3 to 4 minutes later, now that my carrot and onion are soft, I'm adding in my 2 to 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. I'm going to stir this together. I do want to mention, if you don't have any oils on hand to saute your veggies, you could actually saute veggies in water. I've done that before and it actually works out quite well. So after I combined the tomato paste in, I just added my 1 russet potato, 1 cup of lentils, 2 15-ounce cans of stewed tomatoes. I used the Italian style ones. For the seasonings, again, I'm keeping it pretty simple, just using paprika, oregano, basil, and some pepper. Lentils do need quite a lot of water to cook in, so I just added in about 4.5 cups of veggie broth. I gave this a good stir, and this is going to simmer covered on my stove for about 40 minutes to an hour, or until the lentils are starting to break apart and they're really nice and tender. This is the finished product. Here's my big bowl of soup. I topped mine with some Parmesan cheese. This pairs great with some bread or a grilled cheese sandwich. This is the type of budget-friendly meal that does not taste budget-friendly. It has a ton of great flavor and it is so healthy. This homemade pizza recipe is very, very budget friendly. It doesn't call for yeast or anything like that, so it doesn't need time to rise. You could kind of just throw it together on a busy night. I'm going to start out with 2 cups of flour in this bowl. You're going to need about 2 to 3 cups of flour total for this recipe. I just made a well in the center and I added a half a teaspoon of salt with 1 cup of some warm water. You're going to mix this all together to combine. If it's too runny, just add more flour in, or if it's too thick, just go ahead and add some more water in. The very last ingredient you're going to need for this pizza dough is about a tablespoon of some olive oil. You're going to mix all of these ingredients together and then bring it over to your surface and knead it there for about 2 minutes. Roll your pizza dough out as thin as you could possibly get it. I always say the thinner the better for this recipe. And then I placed it on my pizza pan and I'm going to add about half a cup of this Prego marinara sauce. Of course, use whatever type of marinara sauce you like. So for the only topping I'm using is just cheese. I used about 2 cups of this mozzarella cheese, and then I used about 1/4 a cup of some Parmesan cheese on top. I just had that left over in my fridge that I wanted to use up. I'm just going to sprinkle this with some pizza seasoning, and seriously, that's it. You could add more toppings to this pizza, but I really wanted to keep it pretty budget friendly. This bakes in a preheated oven to 450 degrees for about 15 minutes. This is the finished product. We love this recipe just because the pizza crust, it's pretty much just pantry staples that you already have at home. It's a very simple recipe and inexpensive. While my husband was in college, I made this sausage and potato recipe quite often actually. I used to nanny, and when I would come home from nannying all day, I would just feel like making a super simple meal, so this is it. I'm just starting out by chopping up 3 russet potatoes into smaller pieces and then chopping up my turkey sausage as well. If you have an onion on hand, you could also add an onion to this and it will come out delicious. Just toss everything on your parchment paper lined cookie tray and drizzle it with a tablespoon of some olive oil. I'm also going to be seasoning this with some paprika, salt, and pepper. Again, I'm keeping the seasonings very simple just because the smoked sausage does have a lot of flavor. Just mix all of these ingredients together. This bakes in a preheated oven to 350 degrees for about 45 minutes. I did pull this out of the oven every 15 minutes just to mix it so everything cooks evenly. Here's the finished product. My family really loves this recipe. I served it with some cubed pineapple because I had pineapple in the fridge I wanted to use up. I've also made this recipe with sweet potatoes in the past instead of the russet potatoes, and it still comes out delicious. Either way is great. And that is a wrap of this video today. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I do have plenty of other budget-friendly cooking videos on my channel if you want to explore them. But anyways, if you are new here, we would love to have you, so go ahead and subscribe down below the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.